Just got back from seeing the new Jordan Peele film, Us, starring Lupita Nyong'o and Winston Duke, and a couple other people, Tim Heidecker from Tim and Eric fame. I was going to say he's probably the person I know the most, even though I do know the other two. It is quite a weird movie, kind of a hard movie to really describe. It's very strange. It's you almost gotta have to probably see it more than once to catch everything. I did keep a pretty keen eye on different things. It starts off in 1986, and if you have seen the trailers, there's the one scene where there's a little girl, and her eyes get big, and that's the very beginning of the movie. You later find out. I was gonna say I'm not gonna reveal the big ending, but because you really don't know what's going on. You know, you kind of gather stuff, but you don't really. There's a big twist at the end. But she goes into, so her family's at like the, kind of like a Navy Pier or boardwalk. Basically a boardwalk is pretty much what it is. And her dad is playing whack-a-mole. Her mom goes to the bathroom, and she kind of wanders off onto the beach, and there's this kind of like a fun house sort of thing with mirrors and stuff like that, kind of like a scary sort of thing like that, scary fun house sort of thing. And that's where she sees this person who looks exactly like her. And that's kind of where it leads. That's kind of what it starts off at. And then it's really kind of hard to describe the movie almost. It's very strange. You need to see it. I wouldn't necessarily say it's better than Get Out. But it is most movie that you kind of maybe need to see more than once to catch certain things. I'll probably have to watch one of those, explain sort of videos. Because there are times where it's kind of like, okay, I was basically keeping a pretty keen eye on things. After the very beginning of the movie, there's kind of when they're saying people's names and who it was produced by and executive produced by, and I don't know if it's who it was starring, but kind of just saying by Monkey Paw Productions and written and directed by Jordan Peele and produced by Jordan Peele, whatever, and it was showing rabbits, and I'm like, okay, obviously if you're showing a big wall of caged rabbits, that's gonna play a somewhat of a role in the movie. And then there's certain parts where the one kid's wearing a shirt with a rabbit on it. I'm like, I caught that right away. She evidently had a rabbit at one point in time, because they go to her summer house, which is evidently close to where this beach was. There wasn't really much of a backstory on the summer house and why they were there. But it's a very strange movie. And then their doubles show up, and basically there's doubles of everybody. So, and then kind of to go back to when she goes out to the boardwalk, there's like a kind of, I don't know if necessarily like a homeless guy or what he would necessarily be described as, but he's kind of, just kind of a younger looking guy. He had I think it was Jeremiah 11. I know it was 11:11. That was one thing. 11:11. And I think that kind of played into it too, because there was one point where the kid's like, it's 11:11. And then shortly after that is when the shit went down. So that the 11/11, that was something that kind of played a big role in there too. And so she sees this guy with this 11/11 sign, and then when they're on their way to the beach, they see an ambulance and somebody being gurneyed off, and they're kind of driving by, and she looks, and it's this guy that she saw. And more likely it's the same guy, just that he's aged 20 years, 30 years, I guess. It was 86 present day, so 2019, so I guess it would be about, 23 years. Well, they probably maybe would say 28. I guess, might be 2018, 2019, whatever, 12 or 13, or 22 or 23 years. But it was more likely the same guy. He was kind of wearing almost the same clothes. He had the Jeremiah 11/11 sign, so you kind of go, okay, this is that same guy. And then when they're at the beach, if you remember from the trailer, there was the one little boy. He walks up to somebody on the beach with his hand bleeding. That was that guy. And that was after the fact. So somehow he came back, or, well, later in the movie, you'll probably find out that there was more than one of him. And then, and then at that point, they're like, okay, we gotta get back home because shit's going sideways. And then that's kind of when she's like, yeah, there was this dark cloud hanging over me and everything, and just in this house and whatever. And then that's where the shit goes down. And basically they're doubles, or the doppelgängers, and they can't talk. All the doppelgängers or the doubles that they showed, none of them can actually speak except for Lupita Nyong'o. I can't even say her last name. Lupita's her double. She barely talks, and she's like, how she talks, in the shadows and whatever, talking like that. But everybody else was talking, sort of mute, not necessarily mute, but just they, couldn't really, they couldn't talk, basically, is what the whole thing was. And there's basically doubles of everybody. They had the white family, basically, because it was the black family, the white family, and they showed them at their house, their nice fancy mansion or whatever, and shortly after that they get killed by their doubles. And so they weren't in the movie for very long. I would say they were probably in it for a total of maybe 20 minutes through the whole movie, if that. Maybe, 15, probably 15 or 20 minutes or so, if that. But it was very, very strange movie. I can't necessarily say if it was better than Get Out. I think Get Out still slightly better than this. But the ending is kind of, I'm definitely not going to give that away because you got to see it. And I probably won't see it any more times in theaters because it's not really worth it, in my opinion, to go back and see it in the theater. I'm sure they'll show it on, I'm trying to think, they showed Get Out on HBO, so they'll probably show that on HBO probably around October, November is when they'll show it on HBO. So if you have HBO, they'll show it there eventually. It's usually about 8 months. My lights aren't gonna shut off, but I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. It's not one of those, jump scares movies, even though, whoops. Oh fuck! Now my lights went out. Shit. Oh, there we go. There. I was like, fuck. Anyways, it's not a jump scare movie. It's kind of more of a psychological type type movies. And then, I keep having to kind of go back to different things. When it first started, there was kind of talking about underground tunnels and unused subways, and that kind of plays into the movie too. Because everything that is in the movie plays deeper into the movie. So they're talking about underground tunnels, and that's where these doubles are all kept. So there's doubles of everybody. Doubles of the people who were at the boardwalk back in '86. They show them playing tossing a ball at the milk bottles or whatever. Doubles of everybody. The carny, people on the rides. It's like they're all down in this basement. And they evidently, the rabbits playing is that's what they eat. They eat rabbits. And then there's a lot of fucking rabbits. So, but yeah, later, kind of towards the end of the movie, they show how the doubles or what the doubles are. And basically they're tethered. So it's like kind of like a clone. And basically they use them to control the people, above. And at one point she's like, we're Americans. And it's like, there was some description or something that Jordan Peele said about how us is U.S. and he kind of was talking politically about it. And it's like, I guess he's maybe putting things of politicalness in it, but I guess I don't see it as such. But that's kind of one thing he said. But yeah, it's not really a scary movie, even though it's billed as such. It's just more kind of maybe like I don't know if necessarily a psychological thriller, or not a thriller, but psychological horror movie. But it gets you thinking a bit. And, but yeah, basically everything, somehow they can control the people above with the people down below. They're tethered is how she described it, is that they're tethered. So like I was saying, when they're at the boardwalk and people like on the roller coaster, all these people are down in this whatever. And basically she went into this fun house and then opened the door and went down there, and there's an escalator. It looked like a really nice escalator down this basement. It looked pretty nice. It's like for like underground in a fun house. That was just kind of weird there, but they like if they're on the roller coaster, if they're on one of those, not necessarily a tilt-a-whirl, but something like that, they're all like shaking around, and the copies of the people above are kind of walking the same way, doing almost the same things, not necessarily doing the whack-a-mole. They're doing the whack-a-mole, but they're not really a whack-a-mole. Like the guy's punching the wall when he's doing the whack-a-mole, or when she goes to walk towards the boardwalk, the boardwalk up above, down below, she walks past the same guy. There's two people playing rock, paper, scissors, and then her going into the fun house is her double going up the escalator, and that's how they meet each other. And then after that happens, she doesn't end up talking, and that kind of plays. And you don't really understand that at first, but at the very end of the movie, you do. And then there's different scenes from like Hands Across America. That's something that plays big into the movies. Hands Across America. All these doubles hold hand. I don't really understand exactly the whole Hands Across America sort of thing. Maybe that we need to all, as Americans, we need to all be together, stand together. Maybe is I'm guessing is what is this. So I guess that's kind of more. I just now thought of that. That's kind of more political, possibly. That us as Americans, we need to hold hands and stand strong, and I think it's kind of probably the meaning behind that. But yeah, they're talking about hands across America, 1986, and holding hands. All these people in red jumpsuits, and they're basically from California to New York City. They're holding hands, and at the very end of the movie, they show hands across America weaving through forest and all that stuff. So it's a movie that you do have to probably see more than once. That's even the kind of same thing with Get Out. It's probably you gotta see it a couple times. I've only seen it twice. But even seeing it the second time, there's stuff that you don't necessarily pick up the first time. You're like, oh. So this is another one of those movies where you kind of almost have to see it twice. And that's the case for a lot of these kind of psychological movies. Like Hereditary. I didn't think Hereditary was that great of a movie. Actually, it wasn't that, in my opinion, it wasn't that good of a movie at all. But then after I watched some of those explained movies, it's like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. So I've only seen that movie once, but it's on Amazon Prime now, so I might check it out again. But it wasn't. It definitely wasn't a scary movie for like, oh, that's, most people didn't think it was that great either, but maybe people who understood it a little bit more got it. But I definitely didn't think it was scary at all. I thought it was very strange. There was naked people in it and stuff like that, but now I'm rambling on about a totally different movie. So as of right now, my first viewing of it, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5, but I think it definitely warrants multiple viewings to maybe catch every single little thing. And it's almost like you should probably, if you don't catch everything, maybe watch one of those explained videos. They'll, kind of walk you through all that stuff. So, but there was good music in it. They got, I got 5 on it. There was Fuck the Police, Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys. Other than that was the main 3 big songs that I knew, and they were good. There's a couple other good songs that they kind of played at points in different times, but very strange, very strange movie. But it was all I can say was that it was a strange movie. But Jordan Peele's killing it nowadays. He was mostly known for comedy, with Key and Peele, which I never watched much of Key and Peele, but I knew him more from Mad TV. I was always a fan of Mad TV. Him and Key were, that's how I'm guessing I don't know if necessarily know what, I don't know necessarily knew if that's where they actually met each other or not, if they knew each other before that. But that's where I know them from, is initially from Mad TV. So, but yeah, him kind of more as a comedic person, but after Get Out and this movie, and then he's doing The Twilight Zone, he's kind of becoming more of a suspense horror kind of person. But there's comedy sprinkled throughout his movies too. But yeah, that's kind of the direction he's going nowadays. So, anyways, I don't want to ramble on too more. We're hitting the 19-minute mark, almost 20 minutes here. So, I wasn't planning on rambling that long about it, but you kind of have to sometimes with movies like this. So, anyways, 3 out of 5 stars. Definitely worth checking out. I say that about most of the movies I see. Usually if I'm going to see them, they're worth checking out. In some movies I can't always go see now that my movie pass is only 3 movies, but they did just now change that to being uncapped again. So I'm going to have to check that out. Hopefully, I'm not going to do it now because I'm trying to save some money for Colorado, but hopefully in a month or so. It's the 22nd now, so hopefully in about a month or month and a half, they still have that available. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up. 3 out of 5 stars for us. Check it out. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me see if I can... I can't do it good either. Oh, there we go. I got it. Yeah, it's better from the front light here. Anyways, check it out. It's 3 out of 5 stars. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. So like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you've seen the movie, comment down below with what your thoughts were about it. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Later.